Alice Crary. Alice Crary, born 1967, is an American philosopher who currently holds the positions of University Distinguished Professor at the Graduate Faculty. Crary was named one of the three most inspirational professors at the New School, above all for path-breaking work. These include summer philosophy workshops at Humboldt University in Berlin, Germany, the Transregional Center for Democratic Studies/New School for Social Research Europe Democracy and Diversity Institute in Wroclaw, Poland, and the Kritische Theorie in Berlin Critical Theory Summer School Progress, Regression, and Social Change in Berlin, Germany, which she philosophical work. Crary's contributions to philosophy center on moral philosophy, feminism, and Wittgenstein scholarship. However, she has specifically written about such topics as cognitive disability, critical theory, propaganda, non-human animal cognition, and the philosophy of literature and narrative. Her thought is especially influenced by Cara Diamond, John McDowell, Stanley Cavell, Hilary Putnam, Bell Hooks, Kimbrel Crenshaw, Charles W. Mills, and Peter Winch. Ethics and moral philosophy. Feminism. Crary's work on feminism exemplifies her engagement with continental philosophy as a critique of standard views of objectivity and analytic philosophy that shy away from the radical, non-neutral methodology and political standpoint that distinguishes her objective moralism. In her view, language in all of its forms invites us to both cognitively and ethically appreciate the lives of women in new ways that count as objective knowledge. As is the case with her moral philosophy, her view of a feminist conception of objectivity is informed by her interpretation of Wittgenstein, who she understands as proposing a wide view of objectivity in which effective responses are not merely non-cognitive persuasive manipulations, but also reveal real forms of suffering that give us a more objective end. Wittgenstein. Crary is a leading figure of what is often called the therapeutic or resolute reading of Wittgenstein. In her influential, co-edited collection of essays of such readings, The New Wittgenstein, her own contribution argues against the standard use theory readings of Wittgenstein that often render his thought as politically conservative and implausible. Since then, she has cultivated a distinctive reading of Wittgenstein and contributed to numerous collections of Wittgenstein scholarship, including Emotions and Understanding and interpretations of Wittgenstein's uncertainty. Recently, she has argued that critical theory and Wittgensteinian ethical analysis can fruitfully work together toward the aim of liberating social thought. Public philosophy. Crary frequently participates in and organizes events for public discussion. She also writes for and participates in discussions and debates for the public at large, such as a commemorative article about her former mentor Stanley Cavell in the New York Times with Nancy Barr and Sandra Laugier, a BBC radio interview about the life and philosophy of Stanley Cavell with Stephen Mulhall, public debates on the treatment of animals and the cognitively disabled. Personal life. Crary was a 1983 Minas exchange student with Youth for Understanding in the southern German town of Aachen. She was also a national champion rower at the Lakeside School Seattle in Seattle, Washington, and placed sixth in the junior women's 8 at the 1985 World Rowing Junior Championships in Brandenburg, Germany. In the 1980s, after studying liberation theology, in the early 1990s, she was a teacher at the Colegio Americano in Quito, Ecuador,